Bez Hashem, and we're talking about just the way that they were using. That the whole thing of Yeshua being Moshiach is a Yiddish thing. It's not a Goyish thing. The Goyim went, and we'll talk about that. But so now so he laid his life down. That's what it says. I don't have a Yiddish sounding parallel to that. I don't, Masar es nafshay. Okay, he was Ma'aser Nefesh, but it was more than that, because all of his ruchnius he left to come to us in the state of Allah Acharachet, where we have nisyonos and all, and he came to the Olam. Olam is Helam. Helam is hidden. So Haster Aster. So he came into the time of all the turmoil that was going on in the Zman of the second bias, at the end of the second bias, and that's how he came, and he took on that likeness of basar, of Gashmias, and he still was who he is, but he put on this form, and this body he put on. So it was his choice, and it was his what he did. And so he's Ma'aser Nefesh. He gave up that body also. He was completely beaten up, and when he died, they stuck a spear. And we know medically that water and blood only come out from a body. That's what I hear, that water and blood come out only after the person is dead. For sure dead. No shy, whether he's alive or not, he's dead. If water and blood come out and they stuck the spear into the heart or into the side, I don't know how that works exactly, where it came out from, but I understand. I'm mamin that's be'emunah, that's what happened. And then there was, besides the 12 Talmidim, there was a lot of people, a lot of other Talmidim who saw him after he was dead. So of course they saw him alive, they saw him in a body, and they saw his guf, and he had holes where the nails were, and one of the Talmidim, put his hands in it and said, because at first they didn't, they looked and said, whoa, he's they just killed you, and he was telling them that this was going to happen, but they had no hasaga what in the world he was talking about. I mean, how can it be? Here he is doing all these nisim. I mean, when he was walking around, and for the 3 years that he was doing all throughout all of Eretz Yisrael, in the parts that he went, he put his hands on people, they were healed. He put his hands on the eyes opened up, and someone else, he said, go and do this, and they were healed, and he rose up somebody, 2 people, I mean more, this is what's recorded, but he rose up people he did Chiyas HaMesim on people, and he multiplied just a couple of pieces of challah and whatever, matzah, whatever it was, I don't know, and some fish, and he gave it out, and he gave to the Talmidim, and he benched it, and he said, he said bracha, and he gave it out, and it became enough to feed thousands of people. So he did so many nisim, and so and the people who saw him, a lot of they were Yidden. So the whole thing was a Yiddish thing, and then it went on weiter, and then there was a lot of persecution. What happened was that they didn't think even of saying a word to the Goyim. So we have to know this. Why should we say anything to the Goyim? I mean, it's not. I mean, Lamaisa, we're supposed to be a Mamlechas Koyanim. We're supposed to be a Goy Kodesh. We're supposed to, there's, I forgot the pasuk. We're supposed to give to the world. We're supposed to be Megayah them. Really, I don't know why we never made Gerim, because we understood how we're going to make Gerim. Look what's going to happen. But if someone comes, we try to make them understand what it is, how serious it is. Hashavas Aveda, what's in a kinyan, I mean, a guy doesn't understand these things. And by the way, so the Goyim today also don't understand a lot of these things. Mishpatim Bal Yadom. Hashem didn't teach them, even though some of them, like hopefully we'll have a chance to explain, that a lot of them have the Ruakh HaKodesh, and they have the Kayach Mechayim Mesim also, and the people are Mechayim Mesim. People are healed of cancer, AIDS, all crazy things, and just by believers putting their hands on them and saying in the name of Yeshua, evil spirit come out or be healed or whatever, however they say it, however they mispalo, whatever they proclaim, and it's documented. I mean, it's been happening, and so that's about a whole nother discussion. But so it's hard to keep it to a whole thing within the 10-minute segments. Is a little, because there's so much. I just want to keep on flowing and keep on going and just talking, Moshiach Lefitumai, and going on like that. Okay, so hopefully we'll have a chance, and hopefully I'll be able to talk to some people and Bnei Torah and who know about these things. And so it was a Yiddish Zach, and they weren't going to say anything to the Goyim, but then Shimon Kefa, one of the Talmidim of Yeshua, he had a vision, an open vision one day. He was davening, and he had and they still kept it tired. They still went to the base of Mikdash. They didn't throw off and say, well, Yeshua's here, so everything's gone. No, I mean, the Chas v'Shalom, that wasn't what they did. So, the Kitzur, Shimon Kefa was told to go to a certain Roman centurion, I think it was, or somebody like that, some guy, and to tell him about Yeshua. So he went there and he told him about Yeshua, and the Ruakh HaKodesh came, and it fell. The Ruakh HaKodesh fell. I mean, literally, the spirit, the power, the kavod, the shechina came and just like fell on the room. It's like the eish min hashamayim. It's just like it's the eish of Har Sinai. It's by the sneh. Vasneh einenu uchal. Ukal. Well, it was. It wasn't eaten up. I mean, it wasn't devoured because it was a spiritual fire. It was the fire that cleanses. And I know about this fire. I know this fire very well. And it's the fire of the Ruakh HaKodesh, and it's what Yeshua came to bring and to restore, and he gave it on Shavuos. And the Talmidim had had a famous experience after Yeshua left, after he showed himself on several occasions to them, and one time they were locked and they went through a lot, because after he was killed, and so at one point, I thought it was Shabbos, I think it was Shabbos, that they were all, locked up behind locked doors, all together, and just being mispalo and talking, finding out what's going on, and Yeshua suddenly stood in their midst, in a body. So it's very interesting. So, but they had, and he said, wait, and it became Shavuos, because Pesach was when he was given up, and then by Shavuos, they all had the experience of Shavuos, which was the fire of Har Sinai came down on them. And that's when in the beginning of the book of Acts, that's what in the Maaseh Hashlichim, what it's called, it describes what happened. And so, what happened? So the Ruakh HaKodesh came down, and then the same thing. And so it happened to the Talmidim, and then to the shock, to the surprise of Shimon Kefa and to the other Talmidim, Hashem decided to give the Ruakh HaKodesh also to the Goyim. Hashem did it. What are we going to do? What are we going to say? So, and his whole household also, there's a lot of people there. This guy had a lot of people, and Shimon Kefa, all he did was he started talking about the things that he saw, and the things that he saw, and then he saw him beaten, and saw him killed, and then saw him risen, and then he told him and the things that he was teaching about. And Eish Min HaShamayim fell on everybody. Everybody was changed. Everybody was changed. They became a Beria Chadasha. It was like they were table in fire. I mean, go figure that one out. I don't understand it, but I've experienced it, and it's the fire that keeps on perfecting and changing and making more tikkunim and making me more clean. And really, it's one time it was done, but there's areas that I still find that I have to work on, and it's an ongoing process. And the Eivishter has Rachmanis. So the Goyim started to get that Ruakh HaKodesh also. And B'ezras Hashem will have to continue.